Hey, Dr. Paul just wrapped up our personal injury seminar for attorneys, and what a tremendous success. Our 3-day personal injury attorney seminar for attorneys right here in Cancun, Mexico. Beautiful 5-star resort. And what makes it all that much better, we signed up every attorney for their referrals. That's how it works. So if you're a chiropractor and you want to learn how to create personal injury attorney referrals, you might want to check us out. So here's why it happened. It was the most comprehensive personal injury attorney presentation given ever. Here's why. We covered the documentation necessary for the top 5 financial driver categories. But what's important with that is we covered all the documentation that 80% of the doctors don't do, and that hurt and limit the injury award, cause unfair, bad faith, lowball offers. That's what happens when you have bad doctor documentation. And that's about 80 to 90% of the case of lowball offers right there. And then we went into the next category of the 4 categories to defend the case. And then from there, we went into the 12 steps of how to put the case together, tell the story, support the injury award. Then from there, we went into the 4 types of injury award offers and the documentation necessary to support them. And then from there, we went into the 4 types of injury awards. Not only the documentation that was necessarily for those injury awards, but how to convert those injury awards into monetary value, an injury award. We were teaching the attorneys that, yes. And then let's see, from there we went into the narrative report, the 12-step formula for the narrative report that logically and sequentially tells the story and builds and supports the case. And by the way, if you don't give it those 12 steps, you'll significantly hurt the case. They love that because essentially it gave them the case for them. And then we ended with the 25 categories of how to do a deposition trial testimony. These are the exact steps of how I've never lost a case in court. And so we shared those, and now they see why. That's why it was the most comprehensive. And I'll just tell you, that's why we get a lot of referrals when we present this information to attorneys. That's why it was such a success. So we came down here, Cancun, 5-star resort, continuing education hours. So we had them for 4 hours a day, 3 days a week in the morning, in the afternoon, evenings, take off and enjoy the beach, whatever else they're doing. But that's why it was such a success, is we covered all the topics they're having trouble with, and really the reason they're having trouble, now they know it's because of their bad doctor's documentation. So if you're interested in learning how, if you're a chiropractor and you're interested in want to really ratchet up your personal injury referrals from attorneys, you might want to check this out. And I essentially did it. So we essentially do the whole marketing program for you. Here's the bad news though. You actually have to know how to do all that documentation I just talked about. You can't just do what you've been existing doing and putting your cervical sprain strain and expect to be a part of the referral club. Doesn't work that way. So if you're interested, and I'm sorry to say, but I actually showed them the 5 major ways chiropractors' bad documentation is hurting their injury award. So some of you might just get fired after this weekend if your attorney was down here. So if you're interested in learning how, if you want to create more attorney referrals and really increase your personal injury business, check us out. We do this frequently. And I do all the presentations. You got to know how to do the documentation. We do it throughout the United States, East and West Coast. But they love this. Matter of fact, the next one, we decided the next one's going to be a cruise. So if you want to jump on the next one for the cruise and share in the attorney referrals, contact me. Again, I'm Dr. Paul, Chiropractic, PersonalInjuryMarketing.com. Or just call me directly, Paul Hollern, 813-480-1693. Bam! Great weekend. Knocked it out of the park. All the attorneys signed up for the referrals. We just created another multi-million-dollar referral weekend in 3 days. That's what we just did for our chiropractors. Check us out, Dr. Paul.